Hey, what is up, everybody? Thanks for joining me today. I got a special one planned for y'all. We're doing the channel's first catch and cook. So we are targeting one of my favorite fish to eat, the white bass, definitely on that top 5 list. And I'll show you a way I like to prepare them and how I like to prepare them for Mars, my dog, as well, because they can be good for your dog if you prepare them right. Anyhow, guys, we're using a 7-foot medium light fast action rod, Aldebaran BFS 6-pound fluorocarbon, 1/4 ounce jig head, and a Super Fluke Junior, kind of like a sure thing type bait for these fish if they're in the water, and it discriminates against some of the smaller ones. Before I get this bait in the water, I do want to thank today's video sponsor, Ahsoka LED. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate y'all sponsoring the video. Anyhow, everybody, let's get this bait in the water, let's catch a couple fish, and I'll take y'all back to the place and show you how I like to prepare them. There we go. Feels like a nice one. That is reassuring, my friends. Definitely a white bass the way she's pulling. Yeah. And that's an eater. This one will be for Mars. Good looking fish right there, good size to her. All right, everybody, an excellent sign. That's our first fish, and a good looking one at that. Perfect size to fillet up, take home and cook. And we are not gonna bleed these fish. You can, supposedly it takes away that gamey flavor, but I don't really mind it. I typically do not bleed these white bass before I take them home. I mean, I'm literally gonna throw them in a bucket, throw them in a cooler in my car, take them home and fillet them within probably an hour or two after catching these bad boys. So we'll get her in, and we'll keep going, grab a few more. We have fairly liberal limits in the great state of Tennessee. However, only need a few today. I'm just feeding myself and the dog. So good looking fish, guys. In you go. So the last couple weeks the fishing has been absolutely brutal. I am extremely spoiled in winter because these fish are very, very plentiful in my area, and I usually don't have a hard time catching them whatsoever. I can experiment with all sorts of different baits, that sort of thing, and I can pretty much count on them to bite. Unfortunately, we had a very, very heavy freeze that lasted about a week, which is a lot longer than it typically does in my area. That was followed by, oh, there we go. That's a nice one. About 50-degree weather and nonstop rain. So the water levels were absurd. It's been about a week since then. The water levels have stabilized, and we are already catching fish, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. This reel is pretty sweet. It has that drag clicker on it. It is a BFS reel. It's a lot of fun to work. These fish are decent size. There we go. That is another eater. Thank you so much. Another good looking fish right there. I'm gonna put her in the bucket for now. We will let her go if we catch a couple bigger ones, but this is a decent size. I mean, I could definitely get a fillet off of that fish. However, I don't need too many today, so if I can, you know, maybe get a slightly bigger one, I'll release her. because the bite has been somewhat difficult over the last couple weeks, I'm not being too picky right now, but considering we caught those almost back to back, I'm feeling pretty good about it. There we go. That one feels decent. That is a great sign. The bite has been so tough recently. I'm crazy thankful. Let's see what we're working with. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. That's an eater. So there are a ton of different ways to catch these fish. They aren't picky. Some people like spoons, crankbaits, that sort of thing. I find this is really the most effective method. It's cost efficient. You're not losing a crankbait every time you snag up. You know, it's just a small piece of soft plastic, but really the exposed hook on the jig head, they basically hook themselves. They're pretty aggressive. And this 3-inch paddle tail ish is really the way to do it. Now, like I said, they'll eat just about anything, but this method, for me, if I'm trying to find these fish, if I don't know they're there, if I just need to make sure they're biting, I'm gonna be throwing out something like this. I can cover a ton of water with it, and they just respond to it extremely well. Got a good feeling about that one. Uh-oh. Looks like we got some rain. Try to get one more fish in before we get out of here. All right. That feels like a decent one. There we go, guys. Good looking fish right there. That is a nice white. Look at those yellow eyes. Gorgeous. And delicious. All right, guys, we got 4 decent whites. Could probably stay out all day and, you know, catch a dozen or so, but 4 is more than enough for me in the pup. Anyhow, I mean, some decent fish. I'm gonna pack up and I'll see y'all at the place and we'll prepare these bad boys. All right, everybody, we are back at the place. Got the fish chilling in the sink and we're getting ready to prepare these bad boys. So I got some of the ingredients I like to use out. I'm about to clean up these bad mammal-jamallas, but first off, we got that boy Mars in the house. What's up, Marsy Mars? Look at that tail wagging. You already got a treat, but you're about to get another one with your dinner. I know he's excited. He already knows what it means when I bring him home, so I'll show y'all how I like to prepare mine and then how I like to prepare his as well, because they can be healthy for your dog if you prepare them right. Anyhow, guys, let's get started. Unfortunately, we have such poor lighting here, right? Wait, bam! Got that sweet Ahsoka LED light. Thanks for sponsoring the video again, guys. 5 different settings. I like this one, man. It's kind of like a soft light deal. Easy to install, has like a little sticky pad type deal. And yeah, it's chargeable too. So if your power goes out and you got a charge in them, you've got like a little compact light you can walk around the house with if you don't got flashlights and whatnot. Anyhow, guys, let's get into the old catch and cook. So we got our fish right here. I'm gonna fillet them up. I'm gonna descale these bad boys, and I'm gonna chop their heads off and cut off some good fillets, and we're gonna get into it. Alright everybody, so I'm gonna descale these bad boys. Now, I don't have my descaling tool. I haven't seen it in years, so I think it's either at my ex-wife's house or lost in the woods somewhere. It does make it a lot easier. We're just gonna use a knife for this. And I'm gonna clean up these fish, cut off a couple fillets. I'll show y'all what we're working with and the ingredients y'all need to replicate this recipe. I think that's the word I'm looking for, but I'd preheat your oven right now to 375. That's what I like to bake them at, and yeah, I'll be with you all momentarily once I clean up these delicious fish. I got a feeling these bad boys are going to be packing some roe. I think they may be pregnant. They are pretty big, and some of these bellies are somewhat swollen, so we'll see what we're working with. Alright, so we have some beautiful fillets ready to go, guys. And what we're going to be seasoning these bad boys with, well, first off, I'm going to give one of these to Mars. I'm going to keep the other two for myself for tonight. My dog is not going to get any seasoning on his. I'm not all about that life. He's a big boy, doesn't need any salt, anything like that. But we're going to be using for personal use for myself. We got some salt, some black pepper, some garlic powder, and some smoked paprika. Now I absolutely love that smoked paprika. It gives it a really, really good smoky flavor. So we're gonna be working with that. So I threw these bad boys in a bowl with some avocado oil. Any type of oil will do. And we're gonna season them up. And we have our oven set at 375. Perfect, ready to go. We're gonna put these in the oven right now. All right, we have them in the oven. We're gonna set a timer for 25 minutes, depending on your oven and how it works and the temperature. I know all ovens are different. I've messed up many baking recipes that way. About 20 minutes, I'd check on it. 25 should be your sweet spot, at least it is for me, and 30 if they're really, really thick. We're gonna be working with 25 today, so I'm gonna set that timer right quick. Oh my goodness, look at these. Oh my goodness, man. These turned out absolutely perfect. I just hit the camera and fell on the floor. All right, buddy. Unfortunately, I accidentally seasoned yours, so I'll make you another batch. I do have a couple more fish left. Loves it. You got a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, buddy. You're gonna be okay, but